Trinidad's favorite son knows what it feels like to skipper a sinking ship. Many was the time that Brian Lara was forced to navigate his team almost single-handedly through stormy waters. Now his successor can truly empathize. That the West Indies should lose their fourth successive one-day international to South Africa on the final ball is by the by. It was Chris Gayle's incandescent reaction afterwards that provided the real talking point. Was this a case of mutiny on the Bounty?
Up she goes.
Heads is the goal. It's tails.
It's tails. So Chris, you've won it, and the last chance now to prevent a whitewash.
Yeah, it's the last chance. We're going to have a bat today. I don't know what the wicket will play like, but it seems to be a bit dry, so hopefully we can actually utilize these conditions as much as possible. Even if we can actually look to better performance from the last game in the batting department. But we have to assess the wicket first of all and see how it goes, and then we can actually take it from there.
Graham, 2-0 in the T20s, confident of making it 5-0 in the one-dayers?
Yeah, look, I mean, that would be a fantastic effort. But we've got a big job ahead of us. It's quite a dry wicket, and we've obviously got to chase on it today. So, hopefully we can bowl well first 50 overs.
So there it is, and the last of the 5 one-day international in the series. South Africa lead 4-0, so the last opportunity for the West Indies to pull one back. Chris Gayle has won the toss, and he decided that the West Indies were back. West Indies openers Dale Richards, who's had a good series since being called back into the side. In fact, was rushed from Barbados overnight to Antigua, and in the 3 matches he's played, he's got 2 half centuries already, averaging 46 on an average in those 3 matches. Played pretty well. Strike rate not all that fast, in the mid-70s, and he will take first strike. Now Chris Gayle allows him to take first strike. Dale Richards seems to want to do that. Gayle did it as well when Andre Fletcher was opening the batting. Here's Charles Langerfeldt with the first ball to Richards, and starts with a wide. And as you were saying at the pitch report, Jeffrey Duchamp, not much carry on that.
No, it's a very dry surface. It's not really going to be a lot of bounce. As you can see, A.B. de Villiers delivery just back of a length. It's dying as it gets to him, takes it on his bootlaces.
First runs 4. Nice shot. Off the hip, races down to the fine leg boundary, gets the West Indies score going and gets Richards going.
Charles Langerfeldt just straying off line and played very finely by Dale Richards. There's nothing wrong with the length really, just the line.
Over the top, down towards the boundary, goes all the way. Tremendous blow by Richards. Over, extra cover for 6. It's a big ground here at the Queen's Park Oval.
Well, as I was saying earlier, anything that's pitched up is a free hit. In the mandatory power play, there's no one out there. So just going straight through the line with that, Dale Richards.
Over the top deliberately now. Boucher's down there. Well done. Well, the return not so good.
As would be expected of a wicket keeper.
Now, what are you saying about yourself, Jeffrey?
Well, we don't really cultivate arms, do we? But definitely, in terms of collecting the ball, that's your speciality.
Gone. Taking that slip. The first ball is bowled around the wicket. And Richards, not for the first time in the series, edges to first slip. So Tusobe gets revenge for that 6 hit over extra cover, and Richards goes. West Indies 22 for 1.
Good thinking from Tusobe. Changed the angle, and that one just seemed to angle in and straighten. Richards playing away from his body, and Graham Smith would hope that they all came that simply. So West Indies lose their first wicket. Dale Richards goes for 19. It's 22 for 1.
Shidharan Chandapol comes out now to replace Dale Richards. West Indies losing their first wicket off the last ball of over number 4. Chanderpaul, a very experienced cricketer. In fact, the two most experienced West Indians in the middle now. Chris Gayle in his 220th one-day international. Chanderpaul in his 261st.
Well, he's not too worried about that delivery. And that will certainly boost his own confidence to put all the troubles behind him. And just dismissing it off the hip. Morning, Robin.
Good morning, Faz. Good morning, everybody. Just typical West Indian type of shot, whether you're Chris Gayle or Gordon Greenidge. Just lift the leading leg off the ground and whip it away off your hip.
Got a couple more at least, possibly 4. It's accelerating. And that's the way to get things moving along. It's taken him 15 deliveries to get going. Now he's got 6 off 2 balls.
Sweet shot. This a perfectly orthodox cricket stroke. He's not. It's nothing to do with it. It's exactly how he would have struck the ball had it been in a Test match. Just a half volley off stump, moves into it nicely. Sweet timing. Works it a little bit wide of Amner at mid-off.
In the air and taken. Simple catch. Captain catches captain. And Chris Gayle's worries leave with him as the West Indies lose their 2nd wicket. Chris Gayle departs, a soft dismissal, but an important wicket for South Africa.
Yeah, an effort ball from McLaren. I think he intended to whack it in short. He certainly did that. It looks like just Smith's reaction there. That was a plan. Well done. It worked. Gayle will be wondering whether he should have slapped it over cover instead of pulling it to mid-on. It was quite wide of off stump. He's out for 12, though, and the West Indies are 45 for 2.
The new batsman coming to the crease is a player with a lot of potential, a lot of ability, but maybe too much expectation simply from his mannerisms. Darren Bravo unfairly being compared to the great Brian Lara. Sharp single, he's in trouble. He would have been run out with a better effort. Boucher with the return from backward point.
Takes the bails off without looking round. Or does he? He reaches back, doesn't see it. This business of being in front of the stump, sometimes I can understand the theory, but I reckon if he'd have been behind the stumps, he would have had a better idea where they were and he would have got the bails off quicker.
It's very, very close. Let's look at it again. Is the bat down in time? It seems almost simultaneous. And he might just be saved, Chanderpaul. He might just be saved there, because had he taken the stumps down first time, Chanderpaul would not have been in it at all. There would have been no need for the 3rd umpire. But he's missed it. Now he's getting back to the stumps, and the bat seems to be down. Let's see what the verdict will be. I suspect it's going to be not out. It is confirmed. Well played. Superbly timed by Chanderpaul. Not a lot of flourish, but quite economical and effective.
Well, you've used the perfect word there, timed. It's just so sweet. It's just a nudge. That's all. Look at that. Just a nudge. And it's raced. Gave mid-off, Boucher's at mid-off. It gave him absolutely no chance whatsoever.
He's found the gap again. Well, it took him some time to get going. 15 deliveries to get off the mark. But he's now pushed on to 22 of the next 19.
Good cricket from Chanderpaul. A little bit of width. It's all about placement, this. Threading it through those 2 fielders on the offside.
Well, that's a free hit, isn't it? Overstepping Johan Botha. Don't often see spinners doing this, but that one is clearly over. So it'll be a free hit for Darren Bravo. He slapped that just take the single. Took enough pace off of it for them to think about two there, but the initial thought was just one. Bravo stayed in his crease in case the bowler deflected it on. And there's going to be a question asked. Mark Boucher seems to have a good arm close in.
Well, amazing how much ground a batsman can cover just in that moment where the ball leaves the hand, even at this close range, and to the keeper bringing it onto the stumps. At least a couple of yards or more. Not out is going to be, or should be, the decision.
Now they're looking for two here, not coming, and yes, coming now, the fumble. Just a little fumble, and they'll come for a third. We've seen this happen before with South Africa. Huge roar from the crowd. We saw this in Dominica. In fact, when a single was converted into, I think on that occasion, either 4 or 5, with a fumble, then overthrows. Now they'll hurry for a second, or will they decide against it? And this time the fielding is sharp and good. Raises a 50 partnership. 24 overs gone, 95 for 2.
Catch!
Brilliantly caught. Boucher it is. The keeper pulls in a sensational catch over his head. Darren Bravo has to go another foot over Boucher. Would have been a boundary. Sensational catch by the keeper, who is fielding in the outfield today. 96 for 3.
I was querying why Mark Boucher was at backward point just not long ago, but that is a fantastic catch. It's all about timing of the jump, which he did to perfection. Mark Boucher at extra cover. That's the end of Darren Bravo. 17, and West Indies lose their 3rd wicket with a score on 96.
So a setback for the West Indies with the 2 left-handers, Chanderpaul and Darren Bravo, looking to consolidate. Darren Bravo just going to a magnificent catch, and his brother Dwayne now comes in, elder sibling, experienced. Flicked away, and that'll go for the boundary. Very strong off his legs is Dwayne Bravo. He's coming with some urgency and raises 100.
Not the place to bowl to anyone, and Cullis will know that. Leg stump just needed a little bit of bat on it, the old-fashioned leg glance. It's raced down towards us for 4. Very quick outfield, particularly down this end here.
Beautifully played in the opposite directions. Desobe pulls it back. The umpire will have a look at it. Complete 3. Very good work in the outfield by Desobe, but the umpire will have a look at it. Now, if the ball in play regulation would have been in effect here, he wouldn't have had to look at that. The ball is always in play, but it's where the fielder is. Now, does he touch the rope? Well, I don't know. The umpire will have to make a decision on that. We have a little time to wait while he makes up his mind.
A good bit of fielding here. It's a question of the right foot, the foot underneath. It's in the air. The ball's free already. There. It's safe. Well done.
Chanderpaul gets a half century by pulling a short ball away for a welcome boundary. That's his 4 for 4, 79 deliveries to get there, 122 for 3, 30 overs gone.
He's gone over the top and will clear the long off.
Well, Satsobe is probably the tallest man on the field at the moment. How close was it to him?
Oh, beautifully bowled. Carbon copy, almost predicted by Ian Bishop.
Yeah, first ball with the change ball as well. Little cutter, pitched probably off and hit off, and reason to smile for Satsobe because he's done it once again. Same delivery, same batsman, same result. 137 for 4.
In Dominica, in the right Queen's Park Oval, just a few seconds ago. Almost identical. The South Africans and especially Sosobe with that line of attack have clearly identified a weakness in Dwayne Bravo, and once more they've executed it perfectly, bringing Narsingh Deonarine to the crease.
He's hit that way over Callis's head in the mid-wicket area. Beautifully struck.
Well, he had to strike this well, Narsingh Deonarine. There's a man posted on that mid-wicket boundary, and it goes straight over his head.
Oh dear. Well, it took an age for that decision to be given. It almost took 2 appeals from Botha. He ran out of breath with the first one and then got going again.
As well, Chandrapal didn't really move that front foot very far, trying to just work it, run it probably down to third man. He's hit on the back leg. Shouldn't have been too much doubt here from the umpire. It's missed that front pad, hit him on the back leg. Only thing he could have thought of was height, and that wasn't a consideration. After taking a long time, umpire Malcolm gives Chandrapal out for 67. West Indies 161 for 5.
So 161 for 5 then, and Botha one more delivery of this over as Kyron Pollard does now come to the crease with 10 overs left. Driven hard and well fielded by Graham Smith at mid-off.
It's always nice for a bowler when he makes a mistake, for it to be made up for with some good fielding. And this could be trouble. Back just in time. 41 overs gone. It's 164 for 5.
That's pulled away very firmly. Too firmly for Duminy.
Nice shot from Deonarine. Got that one in the middle of the bat. And Duminy just a little bit short.
And he squeezed that inside edge all along the ground for 4. A good over for the West Indies, and a very necessary one.
You always see these happen at the death in the final few overs.
Pulled that really hard. He does hit the ball mightily hard. Kyron Pollard, it was short. He swiveled. Picks up a boundary. Now the crowd's with it.
Yeah, he's tried to develop a pull shot come hook shot because he recognized after his initial year or two at this level that he wasn't going to get as many opportunities off the front foot as initially. So he has been working on a pull shot and a hook shot to give himself more options.
Full toss and flapped away. That is a baseball hit. It's gone for 6. Now, was it over waist height? That's a home run in baseball. It's a 6 hit in cricket. 200 for 5 up now, 5 overs to go. That's gone. That's into the pavilion. That's a mighty hit.
Yeah, you won't get too many singles with Pollard at the crease. Missing his length, McLaren. Missing it by, what, at least a couple of feet, allowing Pollard to get underneath it.
In the air and caught. Smith straight into his lap. They've just held it back a little bit. Got it on the full Pollard, full pitch. Looking at the bottom of his bat as he goes off. Exciting innings by Pollard, but a crucial break by Callis.
Yeah, not getting full impetus on it, but Callis has stuck to his guns. Planned to bowl full and straight to both batsmen, and now he's gotten reward. 219 for 6.
Batsman crossed while that ball was in the air, so Darren Sammy, the new batsman, won't face. Just one ball left in the last of the power plays. Straight down the ground, well struck. Goes for 4, absolutely straight hit by Sammy. Well, we've seen Sammy, the destruction he can wrought towards the end of an innings, even at the beginning of an innings when he came in first wicket down in a 2020 match in the championship, the World Championship against India. They brought him in early and he played shots like this. Half century for Darsing Dionarine. Back comes Darren Sammy. Fine innings by Dionarine. Started slowly, but it's really picked up and has done what the West Indies needed. That's a big one. That's gone for 6. A huge hit by Darren Sammy.
Well, it's a strange shot because I thought for a moment that Sammy might have been beaten off the pitch by a lack of pace or something, and he just held back long enough. It seemed to have hit low down on the bat as well, near the toe of the bat.
That ends the West Indies innings. They've done really well to get up to as many as 252 for 6 from their allocated 50 overs. But is it going to be enough? They started slowly. After 40 overs, there were 163. Correction, 162. And after the last 8 overs of this innings, they've scored 82. So there's the card. Chandapol and Darren Bravo had to take their time after 2 openers went in quick succession. Dwayne Bravo picked things up in what was a brief innings, little cameo, but nevertheless, he was the one who just started to pick up the momentum when he went. Chandapol and Dionarine found it difficult again to score, but once the power play was taken, the runs flowed from Dionarine and Pollard, and in the end, even outside of the power play, Sammy was destructive.
Satsobe picked up key wickets, and his economy rate wasn't bad at all today, but Langer felt expensive. A wicket for McLaren, who for once has gone for a few runs in this series. A wicket for Callis, and both are the spinners doing well. Both have Van der Merwe doing exceptionally well.
So the crowd's off to have a bit of lunch, and so will we, after a breathtaking finish to the West Indies innings. Plenty of excitement, plenty of fours and sixes, and South Africa will come out needing 253 to win, to complete a 5-0 rout in the series. The West Indies, conversely, will be looking to keep them down below that, so that at least they can have the consolation of one victory.
Back here at the Queen's Park Oval, it's bright sunshine in Trinidad as we get ready for the start of the second half of this fifth and final ODI between the West Indies and South Africa. West Indies batted first this morning and they got to 252 for 6 of their 50 overs, 67 to Chandapol, and Narsingh Deonarine came to the party a runner ball 53.
Good evening if you're in South Africa, and it has been a good series for this man, as we saw in that tabulation. Hashim Amla might have gotten a bit tired in the course of his 100 on Sunday in Dominica, but in the end Graeme Smith will be delighted, even if he hasn't gotten the runs that he would like so far in this series, that at least his partner is making a sterling contribution to South Africa's command of this series against the West Indies, and looking to make it 5-0 sometime during the course of this afternoon. Good afternoon again, Jackers.
Good afternoon, Fazio. Yes, good afternoon, everybody. There's a little bit of intent there from Jerome Taylor. Short ball to Amla up front. I wonder if that's a policy, but what's worrying me a little bit more are the guys who are crouched down just in front of the sight screen, directly behind the bowler running in.
Another wide ball.
I think a really good example of that was, I remember when Matthew Hayden broke Brian Lara's individual test record against Zimbabwe. I was naturally very pleased for him, and all the niceties, but I'm thinking to myself, man, I bet he wishes that he'd scored those runs against somebody different.
Sharp single. Dale Richards with the underarm return.
Yes, when Amla set off, I think he was fairly comfortable that he'd get in, and he had to just put in a little bit of a burst at the end. I think he was probably okay. Yes, comfortably, in fact.
He's gone over the top. Might not have gotten it as well as he wanted, but gets 4 runs nevertheless.
Yeah, Graeme Smith, I think, just feeling a little frustrated that the team have not hit a boundary just yet. He wants to set the tone. He doesn't want this getting away from him too soon. So down the wicket, over the top.
Good effort there, but no appeal. The batting safe enough.
Good cricket though. That's sends a message. Just put his bat back in time.
Good shot. Be a couple of runs in it.
This was a bit offline and overpitched.
There was a noise, the finger goes up. And Smith trudges off once again. Hasn't gotten the big score in this one-day series that he would have liked. And the West Indies have drawn a wicket.
He's struggled for rhythm, Graeme Smith, and thickish outside edge. Rammed in, takes a good catch, and Bravo, as he does so often, breaks partnerships. He's broken this one. Graeme Smith's woes continue with the bat. He's gone for 12. South Africa 40 for 1.
Jacques Kallis replaces Graham Smith. 40 for 1. South Africa. Lovely shot. Outstanding shot from Kallis. Struck on the up. He got the width, of course, but controlled beautifully.
Oh, this is a shot Jacques Kallis can play in his sleep. Just waited on it and struck it on the up. Very strong through that area. Nice driver of the ball.
Well, that was a little floaty half volley, and Kallis capitalized it. Consecutive boundaries to him. Too wide, far too wide consecutively from Bernard.
Well, if he didn't like the first one, have a look at this. And it's deliveries like that that can get a batsman very quickly into his stride. And you have a couple thumping drives come out of the middle of the bat.
And he's driven this beautifully. Giving him a smidgen of width, probably only fifth stump. Glorious shot.
When a player is in the kind of form Amla is in, you just give him an inch. That's all you'll need. And when it's going your way, it just doesn't go to hand. Bit of misdirection from Darren Sammy. Changed the offside field and bowled one into Amla. And chipped it in the air. Not sure how much in control he was of that shot, but managed to get it wide of the fielder.
Maybe Jeffrey Dujon, well played. Has he found the gap? He has. That's a dive much too early. It's Dowling down there. Might well have cut it off had he not dived. Decided to dive far too early, but nicely played off the legs. Gets a boundary off the first ball of the over. Sammy just string down the leg side.
Oopsie, here's trouble.
Gone. Well, that's about the only way you're going to get Amla out. Kieron Pollard, and he was past the point of no return, just about Amla. Sent back by Kallis, pushed into the onside, wanted a single, swooped on it, did Pollard. No mistake.
Don't know that there was a run there. I really don't. Pollard is a very fine fielder. Big, long, loping strides, quickly in on the ball. Amla goes for 45. 76 now, South Africa for 2.
So a crucial break for the West Indies through a run out. Hashim Amla, the outstanding batsman of the series, going as he has done in all the matches so far. Just trying to get a single off the last ball of the over. And committing himself too far. Fine piece of fielding by Kieron Pollard, completed by the keeper. Brings in A.B. de Villiers. He's been in good touch as well in his 101st one-day international. Excellent record average of 43, almost 44. Just overhead. Hit it well, hit it deliberately over the infield and gets a boundary for it. So Kallis not disturbed by the run out of Amla, as he shouldn't be. It really wasn't his fault. Amla committed himself too far.
Jacques Kallis has come out with some serious intent in this innings so far. He's been very, very fluent. 2 drives through the covers, and the slightest chance of playing the pull, he's in. 18 from just 13 balls.
Just overhead again. Well, he's got to be on the edge of the ring And that's exactly where Sammy was. Didn't get hold of it as he did the previous one, and just managed to clear him.
Didn't catch this. It's a bit low on the bat, I think. Timed the jump perfectly, it's just too high for him. He's done well here.
Beautifully played, found the gap, and he'll go all the way across the ropes for 4. Amla, Callis and de Villiers have been in top form in this series.
South Africa have done very well to hit the bad balls for 4. They've seldom missed out and hit them straight at fielders. Invariably, when that was a rank bad delivery, it was a long half volley, really, wasn't it? Wide of off stump. But it still needs to be hit through the gap.
Gone high, a fielder is under it, could be a wicket here, should be a wicket, and is. Chandapol takes it. Gale strikes in his first over. De Villiers goes.
Well, I'm amazed. A really strange shot from de Villiers. Okay, so he's had to block a couple of deliveries. I think he was trying to hit it wider than that. I don't think he was trying to hit it over long on. Yeah, he's trying to hit it mid-wicket. He knows he's struggling right there. Comfortably caught by Chandapol down at long on. Just had to move in, settle himself, complete the catch. De Villiers goes for 13. 105 for 3 now.
Timely wicket for the West Indies, that of de Villiers. 105 for 3. Gale comes on and right away gets a wicket. And I think we should expect Gale to go all the way through his 10 overs, allocated 10. JP Dumini comes in now to join Jack Callis, who's played really well for his 30 of 26 deliveries. In the commentary box now, Fazia Mohammed and Ian Bishop.
This will run away. Don't know why Narsingh Deonarine was raising the arm as if to suggest that someone else could cut it off. The best man to cut it off was himself.
Well, singles are just doing the job that South Africa want, and then occasionally you will get this boundary, as Callis has found here. So really, without creating pressure, things just strolling along.
That's well played. A bad ball that got the treatment. A rank long hop dismissed by Jacques Callis.
Yeah, rubbish delivery really on this slow pitch. Takes Callis to 49 off just 42 deliveries, so his tempo is very, very good as well.
And that's the half century for Jacques Callis. And Callis getting those 50 runs quite easily. A cursory wave of the bat to his teammates. You don't see how fans appreciate the visitors' achievements anymore. You don't really see that too much in so many other parts of the cricketing world as it is here in Trinidad and Tobago. There isn't that wider level of appreciation of the finer points of the game, whoever happens to be the exponent. Good appeal by Darrell Harper, says it touches down outside leg stump. Good call by the umpire. No amount of pleading would make a difference this time.
Third man going to go across the ropes, and that's a boundary to Dumini. So in between the singles, every now and again a boundary, reducing the required rate. It's now just about 4.7 runs and over thereabouts, needed over the last 20 overs, 19 and a half. Carrying injury, caught behind the wicket. Callis doesn't like it, and I think shows a little disgust. Shakes his head, umpire Malcolm gives him out. Very confident appeal for a catch. Now, is this the kind of wicket which will inspire the West Indies here? Not too sure if Callis won't have to appear before the match referee.
Difficult to tell if he got a nick there, but he's certain that he did, Jack Callis. Chris Gayle is running down the pitch as if he heard something. And Callis has to go whether he likes it or not. Another half century for Jack Callis. South Africa 163 for 4.
Callis caught behind by Ramdin off Gayle. A very confident appeal for both bowler and keeper for 67. Cut shot now, here it is. Are they two sounds? Very confident behind the wicket. Callis shakes his head. And in fact might have to face Roshan Mahanama. Now look what happens after the decision is given. Takes the ball, throws it down. Maybe not, but he definitely showed that he was not satisfied with the decision. Take on. Chandapal takes it. Boucher never really looked himself, and that's understandable. He hasn't played at all before today in the series, and just chopping it straight to short third man. Chandapal takes his second catch. 5 down for 175. 14 overs remain.
When you're short of match practice, it's hard to just find a rhythm quickly, and Boucher here trying to keep the scoring rate up. Slices one to Chandapal, and who gratefully takes the catch. So Pollard gets a wicket, his first, and South Africa are 175 for 5.
Gayle now to Duminy. New batsman coming in is Johan Botha. 12 of 31 deliveries that partnership before it was ended in this manner, with the dismissal of Boucher. So 176 now for 5 in the commentary box. Ian Bishop, and with him is Robin Jackman.
And at the crease is Johan Botha, averaging 16 ODIs. Oh, could be around at the bowler's end, could be around. Oh. First of all, been too high, I think.
Well, we've got another one that is too high, but here's the other one for you. That's hit the batsman. It's gone away for a comfortable single, but no, we won't run. We're allowed to, but we won't run because it's hit me. In fact, went for 4, would have to be signalled as 5. That's 50 for JP Duminy, by the way. 73 balls. Well played, young man. Taken out of the team to work on a couple of technical things for a couple of these games, and he's come back in now, and his job is to win this game for his country.
And he's played on. After all of that, JP Duminy probably set up, looking to go towards the almost vacant onside, and the West Indies have gotten a vital wicket.
Well, that's some good cricket. JP Duminy saw the wide open spaces on the leg side and decided that's where he's going to go. Bottom edge, and Jerome Taylor picks up a wicket. Can the West Indies be clawing themselves back into this game? 6 South African wickets down. Duminy goes for 51. It's 2-11 for 6.
The new man, Ryan McLaren, quite capable with the bat. You look at the numbers now. South Africa 42 from 39 balls. You think it's still well within their range, but we said the same thing on Sunday at the Windsor Park Stadium. Edged and just out of the reach of the first slip down to the boundary. Dale Richards, not the tallest, and just couldn't get up in time to try to make the catch.
Well, we're at the death, and at the death, things like this will happen. Still hasn't hit the face of the bat, but it's hit the right part of the bat, the edge, to get him 4. Dwayne Bravo, rather. And that's through, and that's going to go for 4. David Bernard not able to hold on to that one. Was firmly struck. He's starting to see them now, Rand McLaren.
In the air, it should be Dave Bernard coming around, and a brilliant catch. Superb catch by Dave Bernard. He's made amends almost immediately after a careless bit of fielding in the over previously. The inspiration is back with the West Indies and their fans.
Well, this was the wicket that the West Indies wanted to get. This was the man that was set, Johan Botha, and this is a catch of an athlete. Beautifully taken by David Bernard. Great camera work, guys.
Botha goes for 24, South Africa 234 for 7. Well, it's an intense stage of the match, and here comes probably the most intense man on both teams, Roelof van der Merwe. He was scrambling everywhere. He bowled a superb spell of left arm spin. Hope for the peel, and direct hit. He could be in trouble. Shivnarine Chandapol with the throw. The third umpire is being summoned, and the West Indies are celebrating. They're convinced they've got another one.
Judging from Shivnarine Chandapol's eyes, it was out. Let's have a look. Oh yes, out by a yard. Don't know why the umpire bothered to consult about that one. So the 8th wicket rather, goes down for South Africa. Ryan McLaren makes his way back to the pavilion, and South Africa are 235 for 8.
Slashed away for 4. Too much width outside the off stump, and more reason for West Indian fans to be unhappy with the captain's choice.
It's just pitched the ball right up with all the width that the batsman would need.
Edged and caught. Slower delivery, getting the better of van der Merwe. Of Langerveld, sorry.
Well, some redemption here from Dwayne Bravo. Slower delivery. And Langerveld let go the kitchen sink at it. Just managed to get an edge. Must be happy. He's bowled some rubbish with Dwayne Bravo, but he's got the wicket of Charles Langerveld. And South Africa are 9 down for 246.
He's not going to be on strike, at least for the first delivery of this final over, Lonwabo Sosobe. It will be van der Merwe.
And that's hit high and hard. One bounce into the boundary.
No better way to silence the crowd than one swing. Right in the slot for him, and finding the gap.
1 wicket to get, 3 runs for South Africa.
Just the single. That brings Sosobe on strike. 2 needed from 4 balls. He's got it through. South Africa have won. South Africa have taken the series 5-0. Winning with the last pair at the crease. Graham Smith is ready to run out to embrace his teammates for the 3rd consecutive series. South Africa have whitewashed the West Indies 5-0. Lonwabo Sosobe slashing through the covers to win the match for South Africa with 2 balls to spare. Those figures of Dwayne Bravo will certainly stick out and haunt him for some time. 73 runs off 10 overs, his last two really being critical in changing the course of the match, just as the West Indies felt they had the chance to close it off.
So there's a sad tale. West Indies sent into bat, or rather West Indies deciding to bat. 252 for 6. South Africa 255 for 9 and tie up the series 5-0.